Hello, and welcome to what should be a fun little video showcasing the different editions of The Tempered Steel of Antiquity Grey and The Undone Life of Jak Dreadth by Shawn Speakman. So this was a novel published several years back by Grim Press, and I have found myself in possession of a good many different editions of it. So I figured, hey, you know what? Most of these editions are still available, so I figured I'll showcase them here on video. I have done full book reviews of both The Tempered Steel of Antiquity Grey and The Undone Life of Jak Dreadth on the channel, so I encourage you to check those out if you want to know more about the books and stories themselves. This is more so just kind of showcasing the editions, but I will give you some of the basics. First and foremost, we have this little fun chapbook that Shawn Speakman actually published back in 2019. It contains the first two chapters of The Tempered Steel of Antiquity Grey, which has very early preliminary artwork by Todd Lockwood here on the cover, featuring Antiquity Grey, the big giant mech hand of Sapphire, and Checker, the little floating soccer ball, who very much looks like a soccer ball in this prelim. Nothing too fancy about this. This was actually included, I believe this was given out at conventions, but it was also included in some Grim Oak orders back in the day. This is signed by Shawn Speakman. I don't know how many copies were actually printed of this. Oh, I lied! This was Marc Simonetti who did the cover artwork for this. Okay, very interesting. Todd Lockwood ended up doing the final cover art, but Marc Simonetti did this prelim. That's cool, of what could have been. So, yeah, you know, very, very interesting read. Antiquity Grey is the story of a post-apocalyptic world, or a futuristic world, in which, you know, there are giant mechs, or there were giant mechs, as humanity fought to survive against their celestial counterparts, which are just humans that left Earth. Next up, we have the hardcover arc of Antiquity Grey. This was limited to 100 copies. This one does have Todd Lockwood artwork. This is the preliminary artwork from Todd Lockwood right there, which you're going to see actually very closely resembles the final artwork that he used. This is a hardbound, case-bound book. Nothing too fancy here. It is glued spined. This was limited to 100 copies. He does start with a little publisher message from Shawn Speakman describing the loss of his mother. The short story that Antiquity Grey is based on was actually the first, the final story that his mother had read of his. So what's really cool about this, other than being, you know, 50 of 100 copies, signed by Shawn Speakman and Todd Lockwood, is it's almost remarked as well. I believe Speakman drew the little Angelus fire right there. So nothing too fancy about the interiors here. You just have an arc of the novel, Earth as It Is, designed by Shawn Speakman. No interior artwork or anything. Just nice novel in and of itself. Like I said, limited to 100 copies, hardbound, case-bound, glued spine, but still pretty cool. Nice little collector's item where you can read the full novel. Now, this is not an all-encompassing video. I believe there was a paperback arc that was sent out to reviewers and, you know, friends of the press and such, like Robert Hobb. I do not have that, but I believe it was just a paperback copy, perhaps with the full color artwork that we get here from the trade edition. So, next up, we are going to have the trade edition of both Tempered Steel of Antiquity Grey and The Undone Life of Jak Dreadth. These are readily available where books are sold. They have, of course, the full color artwork, Todd Lockwood's full color artwork being here on Antiquity Grey. There we go. Just kind of showing it off compared to his prelim from the arc, or Alan Morris's full color artwork for Jak Dreadth, which is very nice. Although I do think that the staff is inaccurate to how it's described. The books themselves are nice little cloth-bound books with some gold stamping for Antiquity Grey and silver stamping for Jak Dreadth, showing the Angelus family crest or the Dreadth family crest. They do have nice little tailbands and headbands, but they are glued spines, you know, help keep costs down. There's no interior artwork for Jak Dreadth, but Antiquity Grey does have interior artwork. These are both signed. These are trade editions, still signed by Shawn Speakman, by the way. They're actually personalized to me as well, which is really cool. These do have interior artwork, black and white artwork, from Alan Morris. which is going to be very, very strange in a second because this artwork is not in the limited edition. So black and white artwork there. You have your giant mechs, your giant Gundam-style mechs from Alan Morris, who, of course, did the artwork for the cover of Jak Dreadth. A couple different pieces in here to showcase. There we go. There's one of the Arabis, who's kind of the tribesman living in the area. I'll show you one more. And then we have some giant mechs there. Some very nice black and white artwork. Of course, the trade editions do... Oh, there's another one right there, fighting off. Giant mech battle. They do have acknowledgments in the back of the trade edition, thanking everybody who contributed to the copies, including me. I'm in there. There I am. Hello. So that's the trade edition. And then finally, the last one I'm going to show you here is the limited edition. This is the... Now, there's actually 3 limited editions to this. One is the numbered edition right here, which comes with this very nice cloth slipcase, very similar to the style of all the other Grimo press slipcases with some nice silver stamping. There was also a lettered edition, which is going to feature the same bonded leather that this one's going to have, but with different colored stamping. There was also a rare edition. So one of the cool things about the limited edition is that there's no text, I mean, on the spine, of course, but there's no text on the remainder of the artwork. So you can see Todd Lockwood's artwork in all of its glory there. Same thing can be said for Alan Morris's artwork for Jak Dreadth, which, I've got a little bit of glue on the back there. So you have Alan Morris's artwork, bereft of text. Very nice. So very similar to the style of other Grimo titles, you have the bonded leather, both of them stamped in silver. I believe the lettered edition is stamped in gold. What's really nice, though, is that they are both have gilded page edges. Once again, numbered edition in silver. I believe the lettered edition is gold. The rare edition actually combines both the novel and novella into a single volume using genuine leather, but that's way out of my price point, and I can't show you that one. So you do a full color map in this one. Weirdly not attached. That seemed to be an issue with the printing, but you can actually see right here with the fold out that this is taking place in a very different Europe than what you'd expect. As I was mentioning earlier, one strange thing about the numbered edition, which, by the way, 500 copies, plenty of signatures. You got Shawn Speakman's signature, Todd Lockwood, Alan Morris, Marc Simonetti, and Kaitlund Zupanic. But the black and white illustrations that Alan Morris did for the trade edition are weirdly not in the limited edition. But it does have different artwork. It actually has full color tipped-in pages. This right here being Kaitlund Zupanic's edition. Then we have, I believe this one should be Marc Simonetti. Yep, Marc Simonetti's artistic depiction there of Sapphire. And then we actually have, technically 2 more. We have Alan Morris's here. He's the artist that did the black and white in the trade edition. But as I said, weirdly enough, that black and white artwork is not present in the numbered edition, which is strange, because if it was like the same as the colored artwork, I would understand it. And then further back here, we have a fold-out of Todd Lockwood's artwork, which is kind of weirdly placed, because this is actually the scene that opens the novel. So all of the other artwork actually fits what's going on in the novel. That one does not. That one, they just kind of felt, hey, we haven't had artwork in a while. Let's throw that in there. That really should have kind of been at the start of the novel. But, of course, you do have your backers in the back, of course. I can't remember if I mentioned or not. This does actually have a sewn binding this time. So the trade edition has a glued binding. Numbered edition has a sewn binding. Very similar in the Jak Dreadth here. You have the bonded leather. A little bit of glue on my back end there. That sounds weird. This is, of course, signed by Shawn Speakman and Alan Morris. But as I said, there is no interior artwork in here, regardless of the editions. So you're really getting the same contents either way. So that, my friends, is all of the editions that I own of the Tempered Steel of Antiquity Grey and the Undone Life of Jak Dreadth. Like I said, there are some more editions out there, primarily the lettered edition and the single volume rare edition, which I can't show for you because I don't have those. But, you know, if you want to seek those out, you'd have to go to the secondary market for those ones. These editions, all the ones that I've shown you with the exception of the hardcover ARC, are actually still available directly through the signed page. And as they are just kind of, you know, several years old and clogging up warehouse space, they're all for sale. So they're actually significantly cheaper than when you originally could buy these editions. So that includes the numbered edition, which has the both volumes and a slipcase. The trade editions are also available. And I believe you can get any of the editions personalized to you by Shawn Speakman as well. So, yeah, like I said, check out the book reviews I've done for these two individual books. This was more so just to showcase the various editions. I hope you enjoyed it, so please consider subscribing to the channel. Check out more of these videos. I've got a couple other books I can compare the different editions to. I do at least one book review a week, and plenty of unboxing videos in between there. But seriously, check out Grim Oak Press, which is Shawn Speakman's press. They do a kick-ass job with all the books they publish. And they publish a lot of the big names, a lot of Terry Brooks. They are doing some Marc Lawrence. They're doing some, oh my God, they're doing Tad Williams. Yeah, they're doing Tad Williams. They're going to be doing some Jacqueline Carey. A lot of big names there, so lots to check out. So thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll see you around next time.